Hello people, it is your friendly neighborhood IT girl Sierra here with another hot and spicy tea spilling edition of Get That Certification, or Certify Me. I don't know, I have no idea what these are called. Whatever the title is, that's what this is. But today we will be talking about how to get the CAPM certification for the new 2023 edition of CAPM. So if you're into this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me out. All right, so let's talk about why the CAPM. What is the CAPM? Who gives out the CAPM? The CAPM is the Certified Associate Professional Management Certification. So it's something that you get when you want to manage projects, and being that most companies work on some variation of projectized system, this is kind of something useful to have if you're going to be in that sort of a system. It's very helpful, especially if you are in a business where project management is the primary focus. So anything that has to do with that and you're a project manager within that this is something that you might want to have. Could help you in your career. So PMI will give this to you once you pass the exam. It is the Project Management Institute, and they've been around since 1969. Very well established, very prominent within the industry, globally recognized. In their own words, they say, let me tell you exactly, they say they are the leading not-for-profit, globally recognized professional membership association for the project management profession. They've accomplished this by basically setting the standards and procedures for the project management field. So that's why people love them, that's why people get them, and that's part of this thing. Now, you guys have probably looked this up because a lot's changing with the CAPM. And I decided, because I love you guys so much, to take one for the team and go take the pilot exam for the CAPM 2023 pilot exam program that they were doing. And I'm gonna give you all the inside information. So, a couple of things here. Let's just talk about what the exam, like how the exam goes in and of itself. You've got 150 questions over a 3-hour period of time that you have to take this exam. Before, there was no break. Now there's a break. There's a 10-minute break right in the middle. You can choose to take it or not. You can just continue going if you feel like you want to just power through it, but they do give you a 10-minute break now. You can schedule this on the Pearson VUE website. It's one of basically 2 main places that will allow you to schedule exam. I forget what the other one is. I've always just used Pearson VUE. But you can do either in person or proctored. Proctored meaning online at your house. You just need to make sure that you have like a clean space, and they'll make you check it before you start the exam, just like every other exam that we've talked about in this series here. You just set yourself up for success, and then you'll be able to take the exam from the comfort of your own home. So if you get exam anxiety, some people do, this is a nice way to kind of remove that extra layer of stress. You can just be in your house, be in your jammies if you want, whatever you want to do, whatever your thing is, and take the exam. They do make you show yourself. You're going to be watched the whole time though, so you know, just you have to be fully clothed, but you could be in your pajamas, like nobody would care. So that is how you would take it. How you would schedule it would be through Pearson VUE. Again, depending on which one you want, proctored or in person, you pick the one, you pick the date, you pick the time, you show up, you take the exam. It depends on where you're at in terms of working. Typically speaking, taking the CAPM, you don't really have the experience most of the time, so this could be a bit difficult if you haven't had that experience. However, to even take this exam, I will say, because I totally forgot to mention this, you do have 2 requirements. You have to have at least a high school diploma, or if you are somewhere else in the world, the equivalent of a high school diploma, and you need to have 23 hours of verifiable educational project management education. So, and it has to be from like an associated institution, so someone who is accredited for this type of information to be teaching it. You have to get it from them. And then, like I said, it has to be verifiable because they may audit your application. You submit your application saying, I have a high school diploma or something that's equivalent. I've got 23 hours worth of educational experience for project management. And if they decide that you're the one that gets flagged, you need to be able to show them receipts. So make sure that it's something that you actually did. But once you got those things passed, you can go take that exam. So The exam is broken down into 4 domains, and there's one really big difference here. Let me tell you the new domains. So number 1, project management fundamentals and core concepts. That's going to encompass 36% of the entire exam. Secondarily, you've got predictive plan based methodologies. That's a cool 17%. Then you've got agile frameworks and methodologies, 20%, because obviously agile is a little bit more important these days. Then this is the big change here, business analysis frameworks. Huge portion of the test at 27%. I will tell you, after taking this test, definitely feels like it was more like 50% of the test. Feels like it was the whole second half of the test, honestly. Will that stay the same moving forward? I don't know, but be prepared. Be prepared on that business analysis frameworks section. So just be aware, that is a huge percentage, and it really does feel like it's more like 50% of the entire exam. It felt like it was the whole second half of the exam, honestly. So that being said, that's basically what the exam is going to encompass, how you're going to be able to take the exam, what the certification is, all that sort of jazz. Now, PMI sent out a couple of books that would help along in learning this information if if you need a little bit more help because of the lack of learning material out there. And honestly, I don't know how much. I did sign something. I should have read it more carefully because I don't know what happened to it. I did sign something, so I don't know exactly if I should be telling you everything here. But I will put it up here. I'll put up the list of books that they said to have, and unless I see differently, I might cut this out later, but unless I see differently, they did specifically point out which chapters and things to pay attention to. So I'll try and put that here as well, assuming I don't see something that says that I can't. So you should try and pay attention to that and the specific chapters that correspond to those different books. You can get these, I'll link them down on Amazon below if you want to just pop in and buy them. Or my favorite thing to recommend is the library. The library is a great place. If you're in California, the LA Central Library, best place in the world. Best place in the world. They have a 3D printer, you guys. It is amazing. I love that place so much. Go there, go there, go there. However, they do also have a website, so you can always get these things as ebooks, more than likely, assuming that they are in stock and have been turned into an ebook. So you can always check there, and it's for free. So you just click, you say, I want this ebook. You can borrow it off of, the main thing that they use is Hoopla or Canopy. Canopy typically is more movie things, but Hoopla has books that you can just borrow from the library without actually having to go to the library. So if you want to use that too, I'll link that down below. It's an app. But you want to focus on those specific chapters that I'll link here. So that will be what you look at, because like I said, that business analysis portion, huge. For the project management fundamentals and core concepts, before, in the old version of the CAPM, you pretty much just had to memorize stuff. It was just like, you needed to know the different steps. You need to know initiating, planning, that sort of thing. And then you need to know the ins and outs. I watched a Joseph Phillips video about it, and he calls them the EDOs, the ins and outs of different things. Like, so which documents would go into which section, and then which documents come out of that, and like how they would fit into the other different sections. So like project charter, using that and putting it in somewhere else, or the I don't know, racing matrix or whatever, like whatever the document is, how it fits in somewhere else and how it comes out of something. So that was the easy way of doing it before. It was just memorization. Now, conceptual, totally practical uses of the concepts. You need to understand how these things work on a deep level, and it really is quite common sense as long as you understand what each thing is, but it's just not memorization. So I just want to let you know, it's just not memorization. It really is understanding how these things fit together and how you would use them in a real world environment. So make sure you understand, if you had, as an example, I think I can just like throw out made up examples. So if you had like a business that was working with a specific budget for their project, however, they were expecting a lot of changes to be made. So it's like, how would you respond to that? Like, what sort of methodology would you use in that situation? That, stuff like that. So yeah, so there's what it is. One of the big things to look out for on this test is definitely the wording. They'll try and use things that are pretty much the same. Like maybe they'll say predictive and waterfall, and it'll be like, well, isn't that's basically the same thing. So you'll want to just make sure that you totally understand what the question is, because it'll be just a slight difference in what the answer should be. It should be the best fitting one, even though there could be multiple correct answers. You want the best fitting one. So just make sure that you understand specifically what they're asking for, and then try and choose the most comprehensive option of those ones. But that's it. So right now the pilot program is still going on. If you want to jump in and try it, I want to say they extended it to the 19th. So if you wanted to go in, you have time to read these books and things like that, and you want to just try it out, see what happens, because you do get that free retake next year if you want to retake it. I highly recommend it, because you get it comes with that 25% off, regardless of whether you're a PMI member or not. You still get a 25% discount. So I believe for PMI members, it is a $225 exam fee. So you still get 25% off of that, but don't quote me. I did not double check on what it is for PMI members. I just know it is $300 if you are not. So you get 25% off of $300 or 25% off of probably $225. So that's a great deal if you're just trying to save a buck on this. You don't get the exam results for 3 months again, so be aware, if you need this for a promotion or for a job or for something else that is time dependent, you don't get it for 3 months at minimum. So you want to make sure that you choose the old version of the exam. If you are on a time crunch, choose that old version. You'll know immediately whether or not you passed or failed. But I think that's it, you guys. As always, let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. I will try and answer anything that I know the answers to. And otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.